This month, we meet a serial volunteer who inspires his peers. We visit one of Qatar's most dazzling venues offering exquisite cuisine. And we sit down with one of the Arab world's FIFA World Cup history makers. For many who descend on Qatar later this year, it will be their first ever experience in the region. For Rabah Madjer, an Algerian football legend, it's a place he can call home.
I've lived here with my family. My children were raised in the country. I became like a citizen. When I first came, we used to visit the beach, Corniche and Sheraton. Following many years of development, we've been able to see amazing buildings, elegant skyscrapers, the beautiful Corniche, the port, amongst others. So there are a lot of developments that made Qatar look like a little United States in the middle of the desert.
أمريكا صغيرة في الصحراء.
Rabah Madjer is widely regarded as one of the best Algerian football players of all time. He is thrilled that the FIFA World Cup is coming to the Middle East.
As an Algerian who's lived in Doha for years, I've witnessed its growth and evolution. I believe the country is more than ready for the tournament.
Having settled here in Qatar, Madjer has witnessed firsthand the incredible work that's gone into making the country ready for a FIFA World Cup. And yet he's still mesmerised by the stadia.
To be honest, I love all of them. The stadiums I've seen so far are incredibly outstanding. Really, not even the major nations have been able to offer stadiums of such a high standard. Yet Qatar, in such little time, has been able to build up beautiful, breathtaking stadiums. So all in all, from a personal point of view, all the stadiums I've seen so far are incredible.
Rabah Madjer represented Algeria in 2 FIFA World Cups, in Spain in 1982 and then in Mexico in 1986. It didn't take him long to announce himself on the world stage in spectacular fashion.
I played the first game in the World Cup in Gijón, Spain. That was a game against Germany, in which I scored my first ever goal in a World Cup. We were up against the best Germany squad ever, the one we used to watch on TV, and suddenly we had to confront them. So yes, we were very scared the first 15-20 minutes. But then we started to feel more confident, especially when we scored the first goal, which came from the right wing, with a move that started in defence and went through the midfield. I remember I was in the right flank, so I passed the ball to the midfield. He ran with it and saw Desailly and passed it to him, then to Belumi, who beat a defender to get into a one-on-one against the goalkeeper. He wanted to lift the ball over the goalkeeper. Dremler and his partner entered the box and I came from behind. I got hold of the ball and I shot over the players and the ball went into the net. That made us tremendously happy.
As well as being the architect of his country's success during the 1980s and 90s as a player, Rabah Madjer also led Algeria as a coach on 4 separate occasions. He's extremely proud of the current squad's achievements. He is, though, all too aware that nothing can be taken for granted.
First things first, let's hope we indeed qualify for the 2022 World Cup. Algeria has all the necessary assets to qualify, and let's hope for a very competitive tournament. We all know the level is quite high in such an event. Irrespective of that, let's wish our squad all the best. The challenge is a tough one, but not impossible. We have to trust our squad and be confident they can achieve great things in the World Cup, God willing.
Madjer enjoyed a very successful playing career, which saw him star in an FC Porto side for 6 seasons. He earned 86 caps and scored 28 goals for the Greens during an international career spanning 14 years. Among all the highlights, one tournament stands out for him.
بكل صراحة يعني كأس العالم حياة.
To be honest, the World Cup means life, really. Any athlete would die to play in such a tournament, don't you think? I've been very lucky to take part in a tournament for Algeria in the past. When you talk about your football career and say, I've played in Africa, in the Africa Cup, in the World Cup, in the Champions League, I represented my country. These are all personal experiences which go down in the history of football for any player. That's what we take with us and remain in our memory and in history forever.
The FIFA Arab Cup Qatar 2021 provided the perfect testing platform ahead of the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022. As always with any major tournament, the main focus was on the field of play. And those responsible for creating the perfect playing surface for the teams were delighted.
Having done it, we've fully met the expectations. I think in some ways we've maybe exceeded the expectations in as much as the fields stay together. There's no damage during games. It's a 32-match programme in 6 stadiums. But, you know, we finish one game, the guys do some cleaning and some minor repairs, and almost you could be ready to play another game. So in that respect, the technologies have fully lived up to their expectation and met my expectations.
The technologies being used are very advanced, making sure that the playing surfaces in the stadiums and at the training grounds are of the highest standard and consistency.
We knew we had to get a hold of the temperature and be in control of that 100%. So working in combination with the HVAC system above the ground, we've installed the vacuum and ventilation systems under the ground. You can then take cool air from the stadium environment, suck it under the pitch and blow it back up. So now we have full control, as you would in your house, of an air conditioning or a heating system. We can do that in the root zone of the pitch. So the stitching is to manage the stability of the pitch. So previously we talked about damage to the grass. We don't have that now because the stitching gives an artificial support to a natural plant. And once installed, you probably have 3.5 times more stability than what you would normally expect to have. And then the grow lights, you know, if you build a wrap-round stadium anywhere in the world and you shut the sun out, the sun's the obvious trigger for green plant growth, so you have to replace that. So the grow lights replace the sunlight.
Alan Ferguson is vastly experienced in turf management, but even he admires what's been done for the upcoming World Cup.
I've never seen such an impressive array of turf equipment assembled for any international football tournament. So for these grounds teams, it's fabulous to see them having the tools in the same stadium, all 8 stadiums the same. I don't think that's ever been done to this extent.
All the hard work and meticulous preparation has been worth it. The players who took part in the FIFA Arab Cup were able to test these advanced playing surfaces, and they were very impressed.
Honestly, I've never played on pitches like this in my life. They were spectacular, the best pitches we have played on in our lives. Not just my words, but the feelings of all the players in Asia and Europe who have played here.
I played in the Arab Cup in Al Bayt Stadium and 974 Stadium for Iraq. The stadiums in Qatar are the best. The pitches are the same ones that will be used in the World Cup in Qatar, and they are the best pitches I've ever played on. In fact, they're extremely high quality and the best in football.
Alan and his team at FIFA have also been able to assemble a support team to go beyond caring solely for the turf.
The grounds teams with an extensive education programme to draw on, experienced pitch venue managers from my FIFA team coming in from big venues like Liverpool, Leicester, Manchester United, Twickenham, coming over to support in the early stages of the tournament. To have these guys here as mentors, as sounding boards, it's a comfort for the groundskeepers here.
The team working on the surfaces of 6 FIFA World Cup venues and 17 training complexes ensured level playing fields for all concerned. It all bodes well for the big event later this year.
I think Qatar, the Arab Cup and the World Cup in 10 months' time here, people will see the real benefit of all of that, and hopefully it will make a major contribution to what will be a fantastic tournament.
The FIFA World Cup has seen plenty of colourful kits on the pitch. Some set trends, like Mexico's classic in 1978, or the iconic shirt of their goalkeeper Jorge Campos in 1994. Other shirts were remembered for the great players who donned them, like Johan Cruyff wearing the best Oranje shirt ever in 1974. USA's second kit in 1994 was certainly an opinion divider, as was Colombia's effort in 2014, although it didn't bother James Rodriguez. There was no such fashion faux pas in Qatar when the 18th edition of the Heya Arabian Fashion Exhibition welcomed up-and-coming local and international designers, female entrepreneurs and fashion enthusiasts to showcase and encourage people in the industry and beyond. The lineup included over 130 exhibitors and designers from 10 countries, including Qatar, Turkey and the Arab world. The theme for the show was Ignite.
Through this theme we want to show the empowerment of women, the women in business, women in financial, women in the leadership. Qatar is a place that we can connect cultures, we can connect civilizations, and we can see that not only through this exhibition, which is a fashion exhibition, and we can see, for example, today we have people from Asia, from Indonesia, from Europe, exhibiting and showcasing their designs. But this venue and this place is really something that connects people.
Mariam Al-Mutawa is a Qatari designer, and this event is a very important platform for her work.
The
Heya exhibition is one of the most important exhibitions in Qatar. That's why I make sure, as a designer, I participate each year. There are a lot of important exhibitors from the Gulf region, the Arab region, and further afield. I started the brand My Line 10 years ago. The brand appeals not just to the Qatari woman, but to all women in general. One of the most important foundations to My Line is modest clothing. We try to represent women from this region and their Arab Islamic hijab in a fashionable way, while following trends, and at the same time, it also preserves our Arab and Islamic identity.
ومواكب للموضة والعصر في نفس الوقت إنه يحافظ على هويتنا وملابسنا الخليجية والإسلامية بشكل عام.
Being an expat and living here in Qatar, it's something I always look forward to see, specifically the Qatari fashion, because so many people come from different countries, so they don't get to know anything about Qatar. But of course, we discover that through fashion, through art. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in Qatar, which is an absolute great vision to showcase what this country has to offer.
The Heya fashion show was on during the FIFA Arab Cup in December, and for many, the lure of football was as powerful as the fashion.
I'm actually attending every single game of the FIFA Arab Cup, and it's been an absolute joy. Yesterday we watched Morocco, Algeria, and it was a total experience, and we look forward to attend every single game for next year.
It'll be interesting to note if the exciting designs and vibrant colours seen at the Heya Arabian Fashion Show will have an influence on any of the shirts worn on the field of play at the FIFA World Cup Qatar 2022. In a new series, we hear from FIFA World Cup legends who share their fondest memories of the greatest football tournaments of all. First in line, France '98 winner Marcel Desailly.
My first memories of the World Cup are the World Cup in Argentina in 1978. It was something magical for me. The final against Holland, Mario Kempes, Ardiles, all those players have stayed in my mind as if it was yesterday. I identified with them wearing the Argentinian shirt. It was something special. It was magical. I was a young child. I had the Argentinian shirt, magnificent with its stripes and the little logo on the side. I can remember it as if it was yesterday. I still have goosebumps. World Cups are so special for young people. We don't realize. Later, when I became a professional player myself, and I had the opportunity to go to the World Cup, I still kept in my mind the small child I was back then, watching those who'd been taken to play at the World Cup. My best World Cup memory is the one where I played, of course. My World Cup in 1998 was unique. It's something for all eternity. It'll stay forever. It's such an inaccessible thing to lift that trophy, to kiss the trophy, to have it in your hands. It's pride. It's even more than that. I'd need even more adjectives to express it. The one I played in 1998 was simply magical. I'd also say the one in 2010, when finally a World Cup took place in Africa. South Africa did the job, did what was necessary, the infrastructure and everything. There was really some strength behind that World Cup, but it's still 1998 that was magical.
In February 2016, Qatar Football Association recognised the efforts of an army of volunteers who'd made it possible for many international events to take place in their peninsula. They paid a special tribute to a veteran of 40 years of volunteering.
Mohammed Al-Mansouri, a volunteer. I really loved sports, and especially football. I went to Al Sadd Club along with my fellow Bahraini friend, Mohammed Abbas. We told club officials that we wanted to participate in the championships, and they took us in the GCC Championship in 1991, and we started volunteering with them regularly. I would spend many hours in the hotel with the teams to prepare everything, making sure, for instance, training fields are ready. I would stay for a week or two, and I would forget about my own family, because I'd been with the team. I stay with them until I drop them to the airport, and then I head home. I volunteered for Al Sadaka Championship, Al Cas Cup, GCC Champions Cup, Gulf Cup of Nations with Qatar national team. I also volunteered in the Emir Cup and the Crown Prince Cup. There was one occasion that saddened me because I saw all players crying. I also cried with them. No matter which team I accompany, I always feel like I'm one of them. If they win, you feel happy. But when they lose, you feel sad. I want to experience the World Cup in Qatar as I have never seen it. I want to see the World Cup in Qatar. I am afraid they'll not take me in because I'd be very old. If God gives me the long life and health, I would volunteer even with a cane. I will volunteer.
Mohammed Al-Mansouri, an inspiration for all ages. Having just turned 70, this new septuagenarian epitomizes the global passion for the beautiful game.
Hello, I'm Chef Ali Reza, Executive Head Chef of Parisa Restaurant, one of the best restaurants in Qatar. I'd like to prepare a delicious, authentic Iranian dish. Come along. The name of this delicious Iranian dish is gourmet sabzi. Let's go. The ingredients for a tasty, authentic Iranian gourmet sabzi: fresh herbs, lamb meat, red kidney beans, dried lemons, and spices. Iran's most favorite dish is called gourmet sabzi because of fresh herbs, the aromatic spices, and their mixing with meat and dried lemon, especially when it's served with slow-cooked Iranian rice. The taste enhances. For those who taste this dish for the first time, it becomes their favorite. You wouldn't find any food anywhere that is slow-cooked this long and has this taste. I would go to my father's workplace whenever allowed. I would watch how he would cook and love to follow in his footsteps. Besides that, I really liked football. I had to decide between football and cooking for my future. Our family is originally from the Ardabil province, northwest of Iran, the birthplace of Iran's football king, Ali Daei. My father was telling me that our city wouldn't witness the emergence of a second football legend like Ali Daei. And if you pursued a career like mine, you would be more successful. And because of my love and respect for my father, I became a chef. I was 10, 11 years old in 1994. I had become a keen football fan and followed it on TV. I remember Baggio, and I was fascinated by his ponytail. I wanted to grow my hair like him, despite my father asking me to keep my hair short. Moreover, because of his personality, technique, and small figure, I wanted him to win. But sadly, he missed the penalty in that final, and Brazil became champions. It was very painful for me to see him sad. The 29th of November, 1997, was an unforgettable day for all Iranian football fans. When Iran drew Australia in Melbourne, Iran managed to qualify for the 1998 World Cup. The entire Iranian nation was jubilant that day. From young to old, we were celebrating for a week. That intensified the public interest in football many folds. Iran's mere presence in the World Cup, the match against the USA, and our victory in that match created wonderful memories for all of us. It was such an emotional match that we won 2-1. It was our greatest collective memory from France '98. And that Matavicchia goal. Honestly, when Matavicchia grabbed the ball and started his run, all Iranian people were running with him. I have goosebumps now. And when he scored, the whole nation was over the moon. It was the most sincere joy we all experienced at that very moment. It is football that brings you these beautiful feelings to us human beings, giving us such joy that we would sense it deep in our soul. I was thrilled to come to Qatar in 2016 and was hoping to stay here long enough to realize a lifelong dream, to witness the World Cup in 2022. And all Iranians are eagerly awaiting for our team to take part in the World Cup this year. Because of Iran's proximity to Qatar, there are a large number of Iranians who live here. You could say this is our second home, and this could make our national team feel that they're playing at home. in front of huge supporting crowds.
انگار تو کشور خودش داره بازی میکنه با تعداد تماشاگران خیلی بیشتر.
This restaurant is within an old trading part of the city called Souk. This restaurant reflects our culture, and as soon as you set foot into this place, you feel you're in a truly Iranian place. I invite Iranian fans who travel to Qatar to come and visit us, to see a corner of Iran here in Qatar.
Next month, we'll discover how Iran is planning ahead for this year's big event. We'll continue to discover the sights and sounds of this fascinating Arab nation. And we'll explore sand and sky to experience Qatar's biggest falconry event.